everyone, welcome back to my channel. This video is going to be a detailed but very straight to the point version of the highlight and contour routine that I show you guys all the time in my tutorial. I haven't done a detailed highlight and contour routine video in a very long time. I've done only one, and that was a very long time ago, and a lot has changed for me since then. When it comes to highlight and contouring, I am really particular about the type of finish that I end up with. I like it when things are really subtle, nothing is too bright, nothing is too harsh, nothing is super defined. I really like it when I have a very natural finish. So I'm going to show you guys in this video why I do what I do now and how I do what I do now as well. I always start out by moisturizing the skin, and my current go-to moisturizer at the moment, my current go-to moisturizer at the moment is the Black Up Ultra Mattifying Rebalancing Fluid. This is my holy grail right now. I already talked about this in detail in my skincare routine video. I kind of explained all the reasons why I love this, but this just rebalances the skin. It helps keep my skin matte all day, but then at the same time it also gives it the hydration that it needs. I always use this before I go in with any type of makeup, and I already applied it, and you guys can see that I already did my eye makeup. I like to do the skin last because I have really oily skin, but you can do it any way you like. So I always start out by priming my skin, and my favorite primer at the moment is the Illamasqua Matte Veil. It comes in a little jar like this, and then it comes with this little thing that you can use to scoop it up. I'm going to take a little bit, just one scoop, and I'm going to work this into my skin. This is going to help control oil. This primer is my holy grail at the moment. I am going to go in with my foundation next, and the foundation that I'm going to be using for this for this tutorial is my MAC Studio Fix Fluid. English is not my first language, guys, so please. MAC Studio Fix Fluid. I'm going to take about 4 pumps, and then I'm going to apply it with this brush by Juvia's Place, and this is a flat topped brush that comes in one of their sets. I don't know what the set is called, and I don't know what this brush is called because they don't have individual names, but check the Juvia's Place website. You're definitely going to find this brush in a set that they have there. I'm working this into my skin. It's a very nice brush. It has very soft bristles and it blends everything in really nicely. I like to just pat the foundation in first, and then I just gently blend everything out with the brush itself. I'm going in with a flat foundation brush by Sigma. This is the Sigma E60, and this is just going to get the foundation on all the small parts of my face where the big foundation brush couldn't really reach. To highlight, I'll be using my NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer in Almond. So I like to apply my concealer starting from somewhere here. I don't apply it anywhere close to my lower lash line because I always have eyeshadows in that area, and I also have these tiny creases under my eyes. When I put a lot of concealer in that area, it tends to crease. So what I like to do is I like to start from here, and then just blend. When I'm blending, I take a little bit into that area, but I don't apply it on that area as I'm applying it initially. So I'm doing the usual highlight thing that a lot of people do. I'm applying my concealer on my forehead, under my eyes, down the bridge of my nose, cupid's bow and chin. But then when it comes to down the bridge of my nose, I like to be really precise. And this is because I don't contour my nose. I don't like to contour my nose because I don't like the way that it looks. I just like my nose defined a little bit. And with a highlight in the middle, you can do that. I don't go in with a contour by the sides. To contour, I'll be using my Black Opal Stick Foundation, and this one is in the shade Carob. I'm going to apply this on my temples and then underneath my jaw, and then I'm going to apply a little bit, no, not underneath my jaw, underneath my cheekbones. Guys, please ignore my English today. So I'm going to go in my beauty blender now, and I'm using this to blend everything out. I'm starting from my immediate under eye area. So when blending out the concealer on my immediate under eye area, I start from here and then I blend it towards this direction. I don't push it into the corners of my nose. I just start from here and then I blend it outwards like this. Before I continue with my blending, I like to set my immediate under eye area first, and I'll be using my benign banana powder for this. So I'll take a sponge. I always take a silicone sponge like this. You can use any type of sponge. You can even use your beauty blender, and I'm going to pack this into my immediate under eye area. And this is because of the tiny creases that I showed you guys earlier. So what this is going to do is that it's going to quickly set it so that the concealer doesn't sink into that area and begin to crease while I blend the rest of my face out. I'm setting the rest of my face now. I don't like to bake these areas for too long. So I'm just going to dust a little bit of the benign in this area. And then I'm going to use a Real Technique setting brush to just sweep this powder off in a minute. To set the highlight that I have down the bridge of my nose, I like to use a fluffy shading brush. Any big eyeshadow brush will do for this. And I like to use this for precision. So I'm just going to use this and dab the powder down the bridge of my nose, just gently, to make sure that I maintain the line. And I'm dusting off the excess powder now, and I am using my Real Techniques setting brush for this. With the same sponge that I used earlier, I'm going to take a little bit of the benign powder, and I'm going to just apply a little, very little in this area, and I'm going to leave it on while I set my contour and quickly sweep it out. The reason why I don't use an actual concealer in this area is that it's very easy, or it gets very easy for you to just lose your actual shade in this area when you begin to blend out a concealer here. And then before you know it, this entire area is too light, and then when someone is looking at you, it looks like you're wearing a foundation that is way too light, and like your jawline kind of looks lighter than it's supposed to. So to avoid that, what I like to do is I do the rest of my face, do everything, and then while I set my contour, I just apply a little bit of benign powder in this area just to define my contour. I don't like to do it with a concealer. To set the contour parts of my face, I'm using Anastasia Beverly Hills contour powder in Espresso. To set my entire face, I'm using my Black Cup 2-Way Cake in TW11, and this brush is the MAC 136 powder brush. I'm not sweeping the powder all over. I am going to just gently dust or pat this into the skin. To give my cheeks a little bit of color, I am using MAC's blush in Raisin, and this brush is my Real Techniques blush brush. To highlight my cheekbones, I'm going to be using my Black Cup Sublime powder in 01, and this is my Real Techniques contour brush. I like to use this for this step because it just gets right into that area and it's really easy to use. One last thing that I like to do is that I like to take the Sigma E60 brush, or any fluffy eyeshadow brush would do, and I dip this into any highlighter that I've just used on my cheekbones, and I pop this into my brow bone area. I'm going to quickly apply a lip color and then I'll be right back. So this here is my highlight and contour. This is the finish that I always go for whenever I do my highlight and contour. It's always like this. So I hope that you guys found this video helpful, and I'll see you guys in my next one.